Yo, what's happening? What's going on? What's up? Coming to you with another video. Like I said, I'm out of retirement, dusting everything off, you know what I'm saying? Trying to get back in the swing of things. And just like everybody else, I gotta, you know what I'm saying, at least address the elephant in the room, you know what I mean? So we will get to it. You definitely see the title of the show, Sticks and Stones. About to get into it. But before we get into it, like I said, I want to tell everybody what's up. Like, share, subscribe. Check out some of my old shit. You know what I'm saying? You might come across something you like. You know what I mean? We building, we growing. Make sure you everything that's scrolling at the bottom of the screen, you click on those. No doubt, no doubt. Appreciate y'all boy being here. Appreciate y'all boy listening. But let's go ahead and get into it. First and foremost, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's been giving their thoughts. Everybody's been kind of giving their opinion. Excuse me. On, you know what I'm saying, all kinds of different shit. Excuse me. But the crazy thing about everything that kind of happened last night is, once again, just the reaction by everybody and just the shock, the utter, just like, yo, what the is going on? You know what I mean? But all of that can be summed up. And obviously, if you hadn't seen the video, sorry. Had to make sure everything was good. But with all of that being said, you know what I'm saying, if you still haven't seen the video, you know what I'm saying, let's go ahead and kind of like get into it. Let's go ahead and get into it real quick.
Name out your fucking mouth.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
It was a G.I. Jane jump.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I'm going to.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Wow. Losing. He can't win. He is praying that Will Smith wins.
What the hell are you doing out here?
Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
No! Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
That was a nice
Word, this is my first time watching this shit though. Oh no!
Videos of people asking to see my hand. All independent, they all work.
This motherfucker, he stole my finger.
No, that's why I said this is my first time seeing this shit. I have no, and it's funny, but I thought it was going to be. Oh, what the fuck? Yeah.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
In the name of peace.
Now it's starting to get, you know what I'm saying, a little bit outrageous. But anyway, the point was, you know what I mean?
Like the video and subscribe.
Shout out to him for, you know what I'm saying, the earlier part of it, you know what I mean? Like, that shit was actually kind of funny. But now that, you know what I'm saying, all the jokes are out the way, all the jokes are still going to come, you know what I mean? Irregardless of, you know what I'm saying, what the fuck, you know what I mean, is going on. It's still going to happen. It's still going to press on. Matter of fact, it's going to press on so much, in fact, that it will be kind of like the entanglement moment. And honestly, to give my opinion about everything going on, real or fake, I believe, you know what I'm saying, it's a little bit of both. And when I say a little bit of both, I just mean that on Will Smith's end, it was premeditated. He went in there knowing that Chris Rock was, you know, the host. He went in there knowing what Chris Rock said the prior time that he was on. and not even the prior, but one of the earlier times that he was hosting the show and he brought them up because they boycotted the show. Everybody's been over and over and over that with their theories and the whole, Hollywood weird shit where they having a ritual, and it's a combination of pretty much all that shit, to be honest. Everybody's right. In my opinion, everybody is kind of right on the situation, but my take is just, it was premeditated. He went in there knowing Chris Rock was going to be there. He figured that, after, him and Jada, did whatever, and that came out, and he was made fun of, and, he cried, and the funny thing about it, the crazy thing about it, is goddamn, his crying meme took over Jordan's crying meme, which was saying a lot, because that Jordan crying meme is still, a go-to for most motherfuckers, but now it's the Will Smith crying meme. Now you can use that shit. So he, as many people have pointed out plenty of times, he's been the butt of many jokes for the longest of time. He hasn't really been taken seriously since he even got into the game. Whether it was the rap game, motherfuckers ain't really, fuck with him like that. They had something to say about him on that end. When it came down to the acting, he was corny, da-da-da-da-da. He wasn't funny. He wasn't tough enough. He was just goofy, da-da-da-da-da. He wasn't street enough. That was kind of obviously the knock. And rap to acting, I guess. I don't know why this infatuation with the streets and all that shit, but we'll get to it once again. Sticks and Stones. And our black people sensitive. That's too sensitive is actually what motherfuckers really kind of wanted to hear me talk about. But let's go ahead and cover the bases first. First things first, Will Smith, up through his career, has never really been respected. Hell, one of his first movie roles, he played a gay man where he actually had to have, I don't know. I just know that he played a gay man, and that was like a big deal back then. You know what I mean? But he got past that because his next role was, I think, either Independence Day or Bad Boys. So that shit just kind of like completely erased that shit. And he got his acting chops, and he is an actor. And that's why, once again, when people say that it's fake, he did win the Best Actor award that year. So, I mean, it's only fair to assume. It's only fair to assume. I'm sorry, getting a little feedback. But it's only fair to assume that the Best Actor, might actually kind of, probably be the motherfucker that's doing some fake shit. And when I say fake, I just mean that he had Chris Rock in mind with that shit. I pretty much, because the joke came out of nowhere, you know what I mean? And I believe that him and Chris Rock had something planned where it was pretty much like, yo, we weren't here, obviously, when you made the jokes last time. I couldn't, do whatever. But if you say something this time, I'm going to come up there and I'm going to slap you. And we going to have at it verbally. And then, I get to get my, but maybe Chris Rock was not in on all of it. He probably was just told, like, hey, man, it's fun. Matter of fact, go ahead and make fun of my, like, it'll be crazy to come out later that Will Smith orchestrated this whole shit in order to regain some love or whatever and affection from his wife, which is crazy, but that's how much he loves his wife. And it came out in his speech later. Like, everything is kind of like cryptic. And, if you have that kind of mind, you'll piece things together and formulate your own kind of, ideal of what the fuck happened. Hell, it could be the motherfucker just snapped. You know what I mean? Like, he just had enough. You know what I mean? Stuff without about rap career, his acting career. And then up until this point, you know what I'm saying? The whole not really being respected in the community where he should be celebrated. The motherfucker should be celebrated in the black community. I mean, it's crazy, but he has let all of the words affect him, and he's done a good job up until obviously now to, completely stay above board on all that shit, at least publicly. You deal with shit privately how you deal with it, but at least publicly, he did quote unquote the right thing. You know what I mean? Sticks and stones. They threw a bunch of sticks and stones at him. Not really sticks and stones, but words, and words can come out like weapons, like bullets, like, knives. The tongue can cut, you know what I mean? Just like the sword, that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? So they do attack with their tongue, but he, you know, outlasted that. He still rose to the top. And at that night, it was supposed to be his night. And to culminate his night, he needed to defend the honor of his woman, I guess. I don't know how that's defending any honor, because if you have alopecia, even if you have some other terminal illness or some other illness, not terminal, let me not wish that on nobody or even speak that, my bad. Or even illness, I mean, it happens. But anyway, you have had that look for the longest of time. You know what I mean? It's not like the first time that, you know, she's had a low cut, she had no hair or whatever the case might be. And if she's an advocate for it, then that should be more of that, like, yo, I'm proud, I'm moving forward, I'm accepting this, you know, this is what it is. So a joke, even though you might not like it, obviously, because it's at you, should not be met with violence. And that's where I'm going into the part about, are blacks too sensitive? Because if you say that jokes are jokes and motherfuckers been roasting each other since we've been little, you know what I mean? Honestly, you know what I mean? I thought the badge of honor, let me give myself a little applause for that one. But yeah, I thought that the badge of honor, I don't know why. Anyway, but I thought that the badge of honor in the black community was to have thick skin. Like, you can't really claim that you black or came out, you know what I'm saying, rough, or you got it out the mud and all that other shit if you sensitive. But we do have a bunch of sensitive people, and in their defense, it's more or less they're taking it as disrespect, and you shouldn't be talking about me. Keep, pretty much like Will Smith said, keep my wife's name out your mouth and all that shit. Word. But that shit should have been handled privately. If so, you know, Jay-Z had a whole matter where, you know what I'm saying, I guess one of the Migos said something about Beyonce and he checked that shit backstage. But it is what it is, you know what I'm saying, in the moment. But like I said, I think Will Smith being that kind of guy, just took advantage of that moment, knowing that it will be a bit like, what can Jada say negative about it? Being that most black women will be definitely on board with him, quote unquote, protecting her. But protecting her from what? Chris Rock wasn't attacking her physically. That's protection. He wasn't trying to take something from her. It was, and you know, a joke, whatever, you know what I mean, a comment, whatever. It was words, sticks and stones. Because I grew up and it was like sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you. As time has elapsed, I'm looking up, as soon as I was kind of like looking up the shit just for the show or whatever real quick, just to, you know, see something. And there's so many different versions of it, like sticks and stones can break my bones, and words scar and damage and do this, that, and the third. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that constant abuse, verbal abuse, mental abuse isn't a thing. But it has to be something constant. If one or two people make a joke, that's a joke. No one's abusing you. You just move on. It's how people live life. And I'm kind of, you know, not made myself, but it made me think about the whole Friday shit. You know what I mean? Especially the whole, like, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. You know he's going to say something on his next comedy bit. He's going to mention that shit again. He's going to mention Jada's name again. And it's probably going to be funnier than that whole G.I. Jane joke. He'll probably go in because he's a comedian. That's what the fuck he do. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like the Friday shit where it's like you could Debo the motherfucker, but as soon as you going, you know, you gonna start talking again. Like you accomplished nothing. You know what I mean? Like that's the weird part about all of this shit, to be honest, is the simple fact that it's like, God dang, you doing all of this, and even in the community, even in, you know, regular people's lives and shit, black people are way too fucking sensitive because they'll take shit to violence over words where you can just move on about that shit. You can check the shit, obviously, but checking the shit don't mean violence. You don't got to beat somebody up because they said something disrespectful. If they keep on with some shit now, and that's the thing, everybody got their line in the sand. But that's why I'm saying most people line in the sand is just so the far fuck out there that it's like, is it really affecting you? Has that person really harmed you, or did they just say something? And here's why I want to kind of double down on that shit with the whole microaggression type of shit. There's this kind of new wave of sensitivity as far as speech. I'm all for parsing your words. I'm all for, you know what I'm saying, like being able to speak in kindness and in certain situations in gentleness, and obviously all the time you should speak, you know, genuinely and sincerely. But, you know, not every conversation or every interaction, you know, requires a sincere moment or deep, you know what I'm saying? But I just mean, obviously, there are ranges to the shit. Disrespect is only kind of on some people feel they can get away with that type of shit. You know what I mean? And once again, there's lines in the sand. And who am I to tell anybody else what line in the sand is what? Especially if that person has been quote unquote bullied for time upon time upon time upon time, which obviously, back to the Will Smith situation, is what he spoke on. At a certain point, people just really do snap. You know what I mean? But if you've already displayed that you can rise above, it shouldn't. I'm sure it gets harder. I mean, hell, I lived my life in that particular manner, so I understand. But you just have to continue to rise above. You have to not put yourself in bad situations, and if a bad situation arises, do what you know is good. Do what you know is right. Do what you know will make the situation the best. However, in the community, sometimes, you know, if you take the high road, you a bitch, and that all goes down to the sticks and stones, and words can't hurt you. So I'm gonna be a bitch for doing what the fuck I want to do. Like, everybody proclaims that they grown and all this other bullshit, but as soon as a adult person actually makes a decision to say, I'm gonna do this, you're free to call me a bitch. You're free to say whatever the fuck you want to say. I'm still gonna do what the fuck I'm gonna do. People go talk. And if people talk too much about you, it's going to make the people they're talking to more interested in you than them. Now they're kind of like, like you always, you know, got that person name in your mouth, so maybe I need to see what that person that you're talking about is really up to. Sometimes it backfires all the fucking time, to be honest. People think that, you know what I mean, they doing some extra kind of shit, but really they not. And that's my whole point, and I'm gonna close out with that because I'm running a little bit long. I don't want to make this like hour long shit or nothing like that, because like I said, this whole Will Smith shit has been jabbed and punched from every angle, and it will continue to be jabbed and punched from every angle and dissected from every angle. And yes, the whole relationship dynamic, that's bullshit, because people are speaking on stuff that they may know, kind of know, think they know, whatever it is, but they don't really know. And I haven't read his memoir, but based off of the fact that, you know what I'm saying, this Will Smith does have a dark side as far as like him thinking about killing his daddy and shit like that. Like, yeah, you know, it seems like he's the type, obviously, to bottle shit up, and then it gets to a point and it keels over. I would know this from personal experience. I'm a bottler, but I learned different ways to actually get that shit out to where it's actually healthy. Instead of just like taking your shit, I'm gonna take your shit regardless because it's just words or it's just frivolous actions. Once the shit gets serious, then serious actions need to be taken. But I don't think that black people have that. I shouldn't say black people. A lot of black people, some black people, certain black people, a certain slice, a sliver, what I mean, whatever, however you want to call it. Definitely not all black people. Because hell, I'm black. Even though I'm saying this shit, I'm in with the shit. We, are sensitive as fuck. Not just black. We are sensitive as fuck. We let words bother us way too much. That N-word shit, that N-word, that nigga shit. But when I say N-word, it actually kind of stands up. But that nigga shit, and yeah, because if I say that nigga shit, then motherfuckers think I'm talking about nigga shit, like the Will Smith shit. But I mean, like the N-word and it being used and said by others. My whole take on this real quick is that, once again, sticks and stones can break my bones. Words can't hurt me. If you're using any kind of language or any kind of word to rile me up intentionally, you've already lost because I seen your move, and why would I engage with that shit? If you take it too many steps far because you really want to engage, then that's what you really want to do. Then swing, nigga. You know what I mean? You might knock me out. I might beat your ass. Either way, swing if that's how the fuck you feel. But this antagonizing shit, yes, that's what people do. But it's still up to you to move the fuck on. And that's not being a bitch. That's just you just moving the fuck on. Do you understand how many black lives actually would be saved in the streets if motherfuckers let words just be words? Fuck you, all right? Bitch ass nigga, oh, you bitch ass nigga, fuck yeah! But then you both walk the fuck off. Or y'all fight. One of the two go happen. I mean, but definitely it escalates and escalates and escalates. Because nobody in the black community wants to be a bitch, wants to be a sellout, wants to be a coon. Nobody, these words and labels that, unfortunately, and now I'm getting into a tangent and I'm going to close out after I run through this thought. But putting black people in the box limits us so the fuck much that it's beyond crazy. We excommunicate real motherfuckers that can really make a change in the black community because they married a white person. They got billions of dollars that they can invest, but he fucks a white bitch, so, I guess we can't fuck with him, and if you do take his money, then you just as bad as him and you will sell out too. And that if you have that kind of mentality, I'll just tell you straight the fuck up. That's ass backwards. You work with who the fuck you can work with to get a certain job done. You don't got to marry people. You don't got to live with them. You don't got to love them. Hell, you don't even got to fucking like them. You just have to know how to see another black person, do business with another black person, and then move the fuck on. Yes, you can be love and we can be brother cool and we can maybe even, hang out sometime, whatever. But most of the time, it ain't even gonna be like that. I paid you for a service. You did a good service. Hey, I recommend you to some other people. You get your bread. I had my service done. No. All right. But are black people too sensitive? The answer is yes. And y'all boy need to chill the fuck out. But that's me trying to tell other people what to do. And that's not going to work. That's not going to work. You know what I mean? But I hope to encourage motherfuckers that at least think about this from a whole different perspective. Will Smith let words take him to a point to where now he's embarrassed himself for another year. Yeah, he's cool with the bitches. Excuse me, I use that word too loosely. My bad. I shouldn't be cursing like that. My bad. He's cool with the women. The women are definitely, on his side for protecting and defending the honor of his woman. That's fair enough. I'm not even going to argue that shit. But at the same time, on the bigger picture, he could have defended her honor with words, the same words that, you fight fire with fire. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? But obviously it takes one person to strike first, and you hope not to be the person getting struck. And I must say, just before what I keep keeping this shit though, okay. I'll close out in about a couple minutes. All right. But the last little joke I guess I will say is that Chris Rock's next role will be Jesus Christ. This man took it on the cheek and was almost ready to just give the other. You know what I'm saying? This man was living the gospel, and I appreciate this man for showing that. I don't know if he's a Christian. I don't know if he believes. I don't know what his belief system is, but he definitely, like, literally to the words on the page, you know what I'm saying, took it on one cheek and was pretty much willing to take it on another. You know what I mean? Which is why, like I said, it's probably fake, whatever. Because, men don't slap each other. I mean, it's just weird. You know what I mean? I guess he kind of pulled back because he knew he could. I don't know. And see, that's when you try to dive too deep into the shit, and it just gets confusing. It gets random. But I'm here for all the conversations. I'll definitely be in people's, chat rooms and all this shit. Hopefully y'all boy check my shit out. Because I didn't even want to label it on no Will and Jada shit, but hopefully anybody that hears this shit knows that that's what started this kind of conversation. Because black people are too sensitive. Every single time a black person, it's almost like, oh man, it's ridiculous. And I know my hand's probably ashy. Hopefully not. But anyway, talking too much shit. Had a good time. Got to go ahead and close this out. Thank y'all boys for listening once again. I'm going to try to stay more consistent on this shit because I definitely have, a little bit more insight on a few different things. And hopefully y'all boys like that shit. If y'all boys like it, like, share, subscribe, all that other good shit. But in the meantime, and in between time, we out. You just watch me walking around and breathing for a second. All right. All right.